Vassals of Kingsgrave, public service announcement. Hi, this is White Raven. Do you feel like this morning was colder than the last, and the same the morning before that? Well, you were right. That was Autumn's kiss, and winter's about to fuck you hard. So sit back with a cup of hot cocoa and listen to your favorite VoK episodes, because it's going to be a real bitch. This has been a VoK PSA. Thank you.
My posse's on Broadway. My posse's on Broadway.
Now my name is Amberrocks and I come to say y'all should check out VoK each and every day. Our lack of knowledge may be shocking and our humor quite base. Blame APOIAF cause they cold started this place. From the M to the A to the A to the K, they made it possible for all of us to be here today. When you step to VoK, son, you better step hard. We can take on any army, any fucking King's Guard. If you troll and check your dealings, Kingsgrave will leave you ruined. With tact and respect is how we share our feelings. Look for dragons from the moon, winter's coming real soon. If you wanna fuck with us, we'll cut your heart out with a spoon. I hope you're realizing ain't no good antagonizing. The place is here, the time is now, the manhood is rising.
Bonjour.
Hey.
Hello.
G'day.
Hello.
God dag.
Hey. Hi everyone.
Hello.
Bonsoir. Et bienvenue.
Og velkommen.
Dan selamat datang.
And welcome.
Welcome to the Vassals of Kingsgrave, the international spin-off of the award-winning A Podcast of Ice and Fire. It's our 300th episode today, and boy do we have a show for you. We're going to start with the roll call because I've been joined by a lot of awesome people here this morning. And after that, we're going to talk about what this podcast means to us. And after that, we're going to talk about the best moments, and interspersed between those, we're going to have some clips from former episodes and curators and bumpers. It's going to be all good, all fun, all the time. But before that, I'm going to turn it over to a message from a very special manwoody that couldn't make it here today. So ladies, sit down, relax, and get ready for the soothing voice of Duncan, Valkyrie on the forums.
G'day, my name is Duncan, or Valkyrie on the forums, and I just wanted to wish my fellow vassals a happy 300th episode. I can still remember my first time on the podcast. It was during the Feast Dance reread that we did back in 2013, which I think in many ways started the podcast and got a lot of the forum involved. And after listening to a few episodes, I noticed, to my utter astonishment, that no one had claimed the Jon Snow chapters yet, despite him being, I think we can all agree, one of the richest and most thought-provoking characters in the series, if not contemporary literature. So I put up my hand to do it, but only then did I realize just how much reading that would actually require. So I think I remember cobbling together a playlist of all the Jon Snow chapters from the Dance with Dragons audiobook, and I listened to it all throughout the week leading up to the recording while I was jogging or just driving to class. And then the big day finally arrived, and I crawled out of bed at 3:45 in the morning. It was freezing cold. I don't think my heating was working at the time, so I was physically could see the frost coming out of my mouth as I booted up the computer. I had a big doona wrapped around me and a mug of coffee in my hand, and I opened Skype, which I don't think I had ever even used until that point, let alone recorded a podcast with. And then I was met with a barrage of foreign accents all greeting me on the other end of the line. And it was very surreal, but it was also slightly thrilling because it was kind of the first time I'd really ever gotten to discuss and geek out over this book series that I was obsessed with. I don't think I'd ever even uttered the title aloud, A Song of Ice and Fire. And so it took me a few podcasts to find my stride, but eventually I was hooked. And I would still get nervous before each recording, but when I heard the voices on the other end of the line, the nerves gradually seemed to disappear because it just felt like I was hanging out with friends. Friends who were on the other side of the world and who pronounce everything wrong and who used a system of measurement that should have died in the Dark Ages, but friends all the same. As for my favourite podcasts, I really loved being a part of the Princess and the Queen episode because it was the first time we'd gotten any new writing from George since we began the podcast. And there was just this air of excitement in the room, and I think that was one of the bigger podcasts we'd ever done. There was like 7 or 8 people on it, and there was people calling in from England and Pakistan and Russia and just all over America. It was, I don't know, it just felt like a geeky United Nations. and we just chatted and joked and argued for like 4 hours. And when I started the podcast, it was the dead of night, but when it finished, it was like morning, and I just went and got some breakfast, and I was just like, I don't know, giddy with excitement. And I've also really loved being a part of the Full Castle recordings. There's just something about them that, I don't know, like trying to perform the characters in the story and really wrap your head around Martin's writing that adds this cool new angle on the story. And the Aftershow discussions on those are often some of the most interesting because people really sort of vehemently defend the characters that they've played, and there's a lot of, you know, just kind of language minutiae that people really get stuck into. It's a cool angle on the story. Anyway, enough rambling for me. Congrats again. Sorry I can't be there, but I can't wait to listen. As Amber would say, mush, mush, mush. VoK on.
Thank you, Duncan. And now for the roll call.
This is Shane, easttexasdirewolf on the forums.
This is Adam, DrownedSnow on the forums.
This is Nadia.
This is Greg, claudiusthefool on the forums.
Greetings. This is I, Patrick the Tall, Patrick in real life.
This is Glen, Dagos Rivers on the forums.
It's really not.
I know.
Are you sure?
You'd appreciate it, I think.
This is Amberrocks on the forums, Amber in real life.
This is Zach, and I go by Alias on the forums.
This is Brett. I go by White Raven everywhere.
Everywhere.
Yeah, what does VoK mean to you? Does anyone have anything to say about that specifically, or do you want to do a roundup?
What's a roundup?
Yeah, I mean, just ask in turn everyone what they think.
Okay.
So you mean a round robin?
Roundup
It just means like going around.
You're rounding up people, like doing a roundup as you do a roundup.
Everybody go around.
Someone's getting hogtied, I think.
Do you seriously? Is that seriously what this podcast is going to be about? Me not getting your idioms correct.
That's what it's always been about.
I do remember you at one point saying something to me and Thomas about a mummer's cunt, and then you angered that we didn't understand what you were talking about.
No, that was actually me trying to explain one of the Danish idioms to you guys.
Is it like a man's butt?
No, it's because like it's a tease. Essentially, it's a tease. When a guy or a girl is a tease, they want to show. They try to, want to have.
No, I don't. Keep going.
They tell you they want to have sex, but then again, they don't afterwards.
That happens to you a lot, Patrick.
Not anymore.
It's never happened to Brett.
No, because they've never told him that.
They don't even tell me they want it.
Exactly.
So we have a term for that, and it's called a mummer's cunt.
It's like literally that's what they say.
Yeah.
That's very vulgar.
Yeah.
Well, just
You guys
use
should
the
clean
word
up your dirty
mummers,
Danish
I don't know.
mouths.
Sorry?
You should clean up your mouths.
No, we shouldn't. I mean,
They're dirty.
White Raven After Dark is the best.
It's kind of like Varley all the time.
Yeah.
oh my god.
I'm not drunk.
How can you kind of sound sensual when you're talking now? Like,
Are you being turned on, Patrick? Patrick, what big arms you have. Your line is the better to squeeze you with.
You would be the perfect voice right now for a yaoi anime.
A what?
Oh no.
Yaoi.
Like-
Yaoi.
Oh, I don't know anything about anime.
Yaoi.
That's Yahweh?
Yaoi.
Yeah.
That's something else, actually.
Like a big
but
sigh.
Oh gosh. All I can think of is a dragon coming down from the moon wearing leather.
Is it a woman talking or a man? I can't tell.
It's not. I think it's Adam.
Oh, I thought it was that.
Adam seems to be having like weird vision. Boy, Raven.
My sensual voice is turning Adam into a woman. You're welcome.
I was doing it on purpose.
Adam's what we used to describe as a laughing phase when I smoked weed in high school.
Huh.
Really? Well, isn't that funny?
Yeah, you just start laughing.
I
and can't
never
stop.
inhaled.
It's an atom?
No, we called it a laughing phase, but that's what he's having. Where you just laugh.
Oh.
He's having
Everybody
Laughing
just starts
phase.
laughing.
It's very
Just
technical.
without the weed.
Okay, so
I forgot the question.
yeah, the question was, what does VoK mean to you? I mean, you just asked Shane to begin with.
VoK just means a great group of people that I enjoy shooting the shit with from time to time.
Of course, you're from Texas, so shooting has to be involved.
Right. Why don't you come down here and I'll use the trade?
Wow, you guys are horrible today.
Well,
This
if
is
I
what
could
happens when you wake up the East Coast, Patrick. This is what you get.
if I could volunteer an answer, I mean, this is what VoK means to me. If our frequent digressions survive this recording, I that is what I like about it, is that we can all joke and have fun together, and that you guys are all my friends, and I'm very fond of all of you. So that is what I like about it, is a bunch of friends talking about things that I care about, and sometimes things I don't care about and don't understand.
And sometimes you care about them because you care about the people talking about them.
That's true.
Peaks.
Like Twin
Unless
Peaks.
it's about comic books, because then I just don't care.
Like Twin Peaks.
No one cares because no one listens to those.
When are you changing your forum name to Book Owner?
I know, I can't. I have too many posts. I can't start over.
You can't just like admin that and change the name? I don't know.
I don't know.
Wait, why would you do book owner? Is this something I missed?
Because you own books.
Yeah, Brett, can you believe we had a joke without you around?
No.
Oh, do you actually listen?
I listen to
this podcast?
Most of
White
them.
Raven and the cool sounds of the 70s. Where the hits just keep on.
That's right, y'all. The moon's exploded and those dragons are coming.
But was that like something that they did on a podcast I didn't listen to? Like what? I think I listened to most stuff that Greg's been on.
Oh, do you now?
Yeah.
It was they said that's my like Mad Max Apocalypse name, Book Owner.
It was the last dragon.
Oh no, I did hear that. Okay, yeah, I'm right with you guys
important
now.
enough to remember.
It was only a misunderstanding because Matt just left out store. He just was drunk and said Book Owner.
Matt was drunk? I don't understand.
I mean,
I don't think I've
Matt,
actually.
sorry.
I don't think I've ever talked to Matt when he's not drunk. Ever.
Oh yeah. Oh, I have. He's actually quite coherent when he's not drunk.
I know.
He didn't drink on the first couple Summer in Hess, I don't think.
That's the thing I
never seen
remember
one of
about
those.
Varley is he was constantly hearing the glass and making the drinks because he didn't know how to mute himself.
Or
Yeah.
chose not to.
We were like, oh, what's in your glass?
And he said all the booze.
Although hearing ice clinking in like a glass with an alcoholic beverage is
the best
it
sound
adds
ever.
more ambiance to the podcast than like keyboard typing. So
It's the best. Well, I wish I could think of something really eloquent and beautiful to capture what VoK means to me, but I can't. So fuck it.
Okay. I think.
What does it make you want to come back each time? Obviously, it's
I actually hate podcasting. I hate podcasting. It makes me feel so stupid. I don't like doing it, but I love listening, and I love the fact that there's a place for me, and that I could, which is why I lurk. But
she's like, I like that I could hang out with you nerds if I ever felt like it.
no, I'm too nerdy. I don't say the witty things or do the cool shit, but I can still be here, and that's what VoK means to me.
Indeed.
What VoK means to me, I mean, yeah, well, first of all, there's the whole thing where we can discuss stuff about things we love that we normally wouldn't be able to in our like local community because of lack of nerds.
Exactly. Yeah.
Scare people with our enthusiasm.
So, yeah, that's a good thing. I like that. But also, I mean, over these 2 years where I've been here, I've learned to like and maybe even appreciate some of you people. And I wouldn't be without you now.
Only some.
Hashtag
Slightly
Viking
above
compliments.
tolerance. Slightly above.
So yeah, I'm also kind of grateful for the community of people that I know and I like to talk to. Yeah.
No, absolutely, I do too, and it's. I just like how inclusive it was, and how when I found a podcast of Ice and Fire, I was like, oh, these are a group of people who are really passionate about something. But then VoK really just expanded that into times 10, just because of the different topics and the different different amount of hosts and people. And
10 times as many people.
Yeah, 10 times. Well, there's 300 of us, so. Yes.
Or 40.
Indeed, but I enjoy the camaraderie and the little inside jokes and all this stuff, and just the whole I used to say repartee that we have among everyone.
Oh, you shouldn't say that. You should
Don't
say
worry, Amber, it's not a swear.
repartee, right?
Yeah, not repartee.
I'm sorry.
Let Greg say it the way Greg says it.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna be that guy.
I'll be that guy,
joke
Greg.
that I always said
Don't say it like that.
Anyway.
It's from Long Island. They talk funny.
Everything's tea. Long Island iced tea. Repartee.
Oh, what do you know about it?
Me? Not much.
Exactly.
Varley might. They had a tea party in his town once.
So this is like the first and only place I've ever been an active part of, because I don't really have any other outlets for my nerdiness. So it's been a lot of fun just hanging out with people who enjoy stuff as much as you do, get obsessed about stuff as much as you do. Yeah, I love you guys.
Oh, I love
just
you.
So you know, Amber just posted 5 hearts, 4 hearts
No,
of
it's
flower.
4 hearts and a Nadia.
No, actually, Patrick posted the flower.
Oh, Patrick to the flower. Sorry,
Jesus Christ, Greg.
I can't keep up with you. Jeez.
Well, Nadia, you were on the first podcast that I was ever on that was such a bad. It didn't. I didn't have
Girls' Night
Wi-Fi and it didn't work and it was really awful and.
Wait, which one was that?
The girls' night out, the Merkin chat.
Yeah.
Oh, that was your first one?
That was my first one. So.
Okay, so we all have our quirks. I mean, I know I have mine.
Please go around and tell us our quirks, Patrick.
No, I'm not. I'm not gonna tell that. I'm just gonna. If you have anything like in a self-realization that you think that was the most difficult part of getting into podcasting, it could be a good time to talk about it now. I mean, well, we're.
What do you mean by most difficult
Learning how to
part?
not talk over people? Oh, sorry. That's...
Yeah, that's one of them.
It's on the dock.
Never learned that.
It's like you tried to force it, but you still didn't talk over anybody.
I know. I was waiting for you to start talking.
Speaking for me personally, I mean, I never had any problems because my inherent confidence and intelligence and eloquence just made me a naturally good podcaster.
Hashtag Texas.
Yeah.
Oh, because you're humble. I get it.
Yeah. Exactly.
So yeah, we've already have the problem with Skype not working. That's the thing that we have to overcome sometimes. Things getting lost into the nether, which just means not getting recorded or whatever. And
Darkling Plain.
Yeah.
Fuck Skype.
What's Skype? Did you say?
Fuck Skype.
Yeah, fuck Skype. Okay.
Yeah.
No, Skype gives us these free chats. I like Skype.
Yeah.
Do not anger the Skype.
Skype apologies.
So we also have of course, talking over each other is also one of the things that you have to learn quite quickly that you shouldn't do, but at least do anyways sometimes when you're really excited. But yeah, there's a few things we just learn through our experience of podcasting, that things that people don't realize when they listen to our podcast, that this is the things we deal with all the time.
I think they realize, Patrick. I think they know.
Okay, then I'll just move on.
Hey, this is Amberrocks in the forums. I'm over here in the Great Pacific Northwest, but don't mind me because I'm just lurking.
Best moments then. So, do you have any favorite moments? We just need to make sure that if Michal doesn't come back, her favorite moment was the hashtag Greg.
See, I think I want Greg on Twitter because I think he'd be hilarious. This is my
Well,
argument.
apparently I'm on Twitter.
Well, you're big on Twitter.
You should hashtag Greg whenever we have conversations.
Yeah, whenever we're talking from now on, it's going to be hashtag Greg. It's like, how do you feel about how they dealt with the fallout from the last episode? Hashtag Greg.
Well, I'm honored, guys, but
yeah.
I won't really be able to be there to appreciate it. But thank you for
Greg, I think it's time you understand that this is beyond your control.
This isn't about you.
Oh, Michal, you'll be happy to know that at the con we were having the panel, someone was talking about the Targaryen cast that we did, and he goes, "Yeah, I wanted to get in on that." And what's that girl's name? Mikhail? So someone knows you out there, and they remember that you hosted that episode.
What? Oh my god!
No. Yeah.
This is so weird. It's so weird to have this sense of yourself existing in someone else's life.
Like hashtag Greg.
Yeah.
Someone wrote, I miss high school basketball so much. Hashtag Greg. How can someone be this pretty? Hashtag Greg.
Those are just me. That's just me.
Is hashtag Greg going to be a new trend?
Hashtag Greg. Hashtag Greg.
To my best advisor around. Hashtag Greg.
I should say the same thing. I just use a bunch of Greg's advice to buy books.
Drops of Jupiter is the perfect karaoke song for a bunch of drunk people. Hashtag Greg.
I do like Train. It's not a perfect karaoke song.
It is a good karaoke song.
That one's all in Chinese. I can't read it. Hashtag Greg.
I can read it.
I can't tell if he's making these up or
No, I'm just reading them on Twitter.
Okay.
Hashtag Greg.
Okay, we're done. All right, bye.
We're done.
We're done.
Zach is pulling the plug. Good night.
Okay.
All right.
Bye.
Good night, guys.
Oddly enough, the moment that sticks with me the most is when it was, I think it was on a Dragon cast, and somebody was talking about Braun. It's like, tell Lollies I love her castle.
That was Matt Varley.
And that was probably the moment that stuck with me. I remember that right now, and I don't remember anything else. So
let's go.
I'm just tired.
Do you think Braun's gonna make it?
I actually think so. They're sending it.
I don't really care.
Look, he's got to come back to Lollies, okay? That's his one true love.
No, because it's the trope of we're just gonna do one more job, man, one more job, and then we're out of the game, and then you die on that mission.
Yeah,
or whatever.
and well, maybe they'll not do that this time.
Yeah, maybe they're trying to
fake us into it.
Yeah,
trick us into thinking that's gonna.
Maybe he does one more job and he goes and finds Tyrion because he's like, that's my bro.
Yeah, he's just gonna end with telling Jaime, be like, tell Lollies I love her castle.
Well, I mentioned this before Zach joined, but my favorite moment was from the 200 episode last year where Zach was so eager to say locusts that he cut it, he jumped into it. And when I was putting the clip show together, I listened to that maybe 10 times in a row.
Hisdar had stocked their box with flagons of chilled wine and sweet water, with figs and dates, melons and pomegranates, with pecans and peppers, and a big bowl of honeyed locusts. Strong bells.
Locust!
He's so excited. That was great.
Do you want to do that?
You just keep it.
Not so eager. I just didn't know what I was supposed to say.
Either way, it worked out well.
I like that moment as well.
I have a really embarrassing one. I don't know that it's necessarily my favorite moment, but it's a moment that got left on the editing room floor. And it was the first... Oh, this is so embarrassing. It was the first book club. I know. Should I tell them?
Yes.
Okay. It was the first book club, and it was the first time I podcasted with White Raven. And Eiffel was talking about living in Hawaii or being in Hawaii or some fucking bullshit about fucking Hawaii. And me and White Raven at the same time both said, "Fuck you." And it made my heart
was
grow
talking about it.
3 sizes.
Right, Matt?
Yes.
What a beautiful moment. Oh.
And it kind of made my whole year.
A beautiful moment where envy blossomed into rage at the exact same moment for two people.
Exactly. Even though it's not on the podcast, it actually happened.
I mean, I have many favorite moments of this podcast, and hashtag Greg is one of them. I always like those ones on the Dragoncast where we've kind of had a tough episode or a long episode, and we can just kind of devolve into chaos at the end, and that was one of them. And another one was chaos. Yeah, exactly, the ladder and whatnot. And it was that one, and there was like episode 9 last season was another good one where we talked about all the chinchillas and the chinchilla popcorning.
All right, what is this?
It's just chinchillas taking dust baths.
Wait, what?
Well, okay.
Yeah, they take
Then
dust
why
baths. That's how
they-
they get clean.
Basket of chinchillas.
Because they're from the Andes Mountains and they're used to the volcanic ash. It's in their bones. They don't ever need to take baths.
In their bones?
2 chinchilla, 1 sock.
They're not that bright because they do try to eat the bathtub as they're taking it. But other than
This touching chinchilla video will make your mother cry.
Jesus Christ. I can't talk.
Where Greg keeps all of his Andean white. As the chinchillas roll up in it. Brings the price up. Alright, well. Chinchilla popcorning.
What?
Oh boy.
I'm not sure that has anything to do with chinchillas.
It says chinchilla popcorning dance. The cutish popcorning chinchilla.
What does that mean?
I'm looking, there's a bunch of videos. Chinchilla popcorning. Chinchilla dust bath of the century.
Alright. Can we wrap up Dragoncast so we can do the after show finally?
Well, I think we're not done here.
Okay, but I do just want to note one thing.
One more
which is that
thing.
every video in the tile that YouTube is giving me is about chinchillas, except for the one in the bottom right, and that's actually bottom right, not east. And that's Big Fat
What?
Anniversary Quiz 2015.
The video in the east.
The video in the southeast corner of the YouTube screen. Oh, you guys are ruining my life.
So, Nadia, do you have anything?
Oh yeah, I'm trying to think of something. Probably the first time Shellfish was on one of the Lord of the Ring reads, and he started expressing all his elf hate. That's really funny.
Okay, moving on. The Fellowship sets out from Rivendell and marches south for many uneventful nights. As they start ascending the misty mountains, a flock of Crebain spies fly overhead. During the night, Frodo sees a great shadow pass overhead, darkening the stars. They attempt to cross the mountains by the pass of Caradhras, the Redhorn Gate, but the malicious spirit of the mountain itself repels them with a great blizzard. Defeated, they turn back. Boromir and Aragorn plow a path through the 5-foot-deep snow with no tools but their hands, while Legolas prances around them on snowbank like a jerk that he is.
Don't sit on the fence, Peter. Just say what you think, mate.
That was good.
Basically, every podcast. With
Everything that Shellfish has ever said.
Yeah, I mean, I have to say, off the podcast, my favorite thing I've ever done with VoK people is play Pictionary with people like Shellfish and Greg and stuff. Like, it's just hilarious and awesome, the bullshit we come up with when we get the chance to
do that again.
How is Shellfish so good at Pictionary? I mean, I don't understand. He's like...
Peter's not only good at guessing, but he's also very good at drawing. Like, I don't understand how you can do that with like a mouse. It's pretty awesome. But yeah.
It's Shellfish.
Well, one of my favorite moments is on the girls' night, in or out. I can never remember if it's in or out. But when Nadia,
That's what she said.
when Nadia said that my voice was one of her favorite voices.
Yeah, I was remembering that.
Oh no!
Everybody else was
my
talking.
mind, Shane, if in case you want.
Oh.
I haven't changed my mind. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay. So everybody was
agree.
talking about how great Duncan's voice was. I was like, Jesus.
Had that voice envy.
Yeah, I mean, I have it. I have the envy for that. I feel it.
Yeah. Well, do you remember your first time, Patrick?
My first time. You mean my very first time here on the podcast?
Yeah, I've been going through like clips and stuff the past couple weeks, and I came across yours.
Yeah.
And it just cracked me up with shellfish kind of shooting down the krakens and squids. Kind of sad.
And then we're very excited to have a new podcaster join Vassals of Kingsgrave. Over to Patrick.
Hi, my name is Patrick, and I'm called Patrick the Troll on the forums.
And you're calling in from Denmark, right?
Yeah, I'm from Denmark, yeah.
We can have an offshoot of an offshoot, because you guys can go off and have the Nordic podcast with...
Yeah, I really wish we were called Krakencast, because, Vikings and all, so...
Yeah.
But yeah.
No real squids in the Baltic Sea, are there?
Oh, yes. Okay, fine.
I love how you're sort of discriminating against a fantasy effect. Like, oh no, actual squids in the Baltic.
Well, actually, when I was in Denmark, there were quite a few jellyfish on the shore there, and they were stinging. So I guess...
Yeah, in a way.
Yeah, those are kind of like krakens. Same thing, really.
Yeah, I don't remember everything about it. I just remember me being awesome, I guess. That was it.
Well, we can talk about our favorite thread if anyone had like a favorite topic or a moment, if you want. I just thought of that. If you had like a favorite subject thread or like a memorable moment on the forums or something.
Well, I liked when Greg's... This is a recent one. I liked when Greg said that I should post in all like Jennifer Lawrence gifs from now on.
Yes.
It's fun.
Yes.
I love the fantasy football threads are always
I was about to say the fantasy football threads get fun.
Prices.
where I just post gifs of Tom Brady and everyone else says stuff.
I also enjoyed the Westeros Cup, the one where we pitted specific characters and saw which one would survive or be the best.
Yeah, that's cool.
I would like that one because
that one was really good. I remember
ended with
sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
one which ended with Sansa and Arya. Oh.
I think it was Sansa Arya in the end.
Yeah,
I think.
But
yeah.
I really can't believe that Bloodraven lost to Sansa and Arya. That's just.
Well, I pulled I had Sir Courtney Penrose and I pulled Arya in the first round. So I tried really hard. I was like the day I was like making my case for him, I was like really sick and I like struggled my way to the computer. Like they got to know how good Courtney Penrose is. They got to know.
As if you had a chance.
I did not succeed.
Courtney Penrose was amazing.
I voted for Courtney Penrose.
He's great. He's so good.
What was his line to Stannis? Something about kissing his ass.
Something about remember the name of this castle.
Well, he has so many. He had
a couple good singers.
Castle. He had like the throw your manhood into the fire with everything else or whatever, etc. Very good character.
So Glen is about to come on, but before that, I'd like to play you something that our good friend Adam DrownedSnow have put together. This is the VoK Curators First Times. Enjoy.
Witness the podcasting art passed down the Manwoody line for generations.
Vassals of Kingsgrave. That's new. What's that?
It is a listener-recorded podcast for listeners about just about anything. This is the inaugural episode.
Oh wow! So it's like it's a podcast from listeners of fans of fans.
Oh, that's right. It's all Manwoody in here.
All Manwoody in here. Topics are anything, right? Right, not just the books, but
anything at all.
Topic, anything. Cool. Oh, hey, I'm Vic, by the way. I go by as 42 from the forums. Who are you guys?
I'm Lord Manderbley on the forums. My name is Lee, so you can call me either. It's fine. And yeah, there we go.
And Lord Manderbley, you got the most number of posts on anybody in the forums, right? They named you Warden of the Woodies.
I do have the most posts of anyone on the forums. It's true.
I'm sorry?
I think I also have the most posts per day of anyone on the forums. Probably have too much time on my hands.
And with me is Bina 007. Hi Bina, how are you?
Very well. How are you doing?
Excellent, excellent. Hey, aren't you involved with the London meetup thing? Aren't you one of the organizers for it?
Yeah. So that's super exciting. It's happening a week today, next Saturday. It's
Next
at my
Saturday.
house, and I'm making
Wow.
all the Feast of Ice and Fire food. And then the forums coming, and Jedi White Heart's coming, and hopefully some others. So we're going to watch the Red Wedding episode, eat some hearty King's Landing food, and drink some Tyroshi pear brandy, and should get pretty messy, I hope.
Sounds pretty fun, and we're all jealous for missing out.
My name is Glen. I am Dagos Rivers from the forum, and I introduced this topic on the Vassals of Kingsgrave forum and got a great response from it. I'm glad that you three could join me for this podcast on Book 5, but it's now a combined effort of Book 4 and 5 that we will be discussing today. Joining me today is Bina 007.
Hi, everyone.
And Zach K.
Hey, this is Zach, also known as Alias in the forums.
I'm interested how you got introduced to the story.
Well, for me, it first came up, like you said, it is a thing that we do talk about a lot in American high schools. It came up for me in my 6th grade English class, I think. I don't think we actually read it, but we were talking about The Giver by Lois Lowry. And this story also came up in that discussion. Then I didn't really read into it too much until I also was reading The Hunger Games and was looking at background on that kind of stuff. And the lottery came up, and I thought it was a really interesting read when I actually did pick it up. And I thought that it was interesting how much that same type of story has come up in recent times.
Joining me are Bina 007.
Hi, everybody.
Nadia.
Hi, guys.
Zach K.
Hey, everybody. Nice to be back on.
And Duncan.
Hey, thanks for having me.
No, we are especially grateful for you joining us, especially at such an unfortunate time for you.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's pretty early. Tormund is in Jon's corner. While they are discussing the ranging, a letter arrives from Ramsay Snow. He taunts that Stannis and his army have been slaughtered, and promises to attack the Night's Watch and cut out Jon's heart if Stannis' queen, daughter, and remaining men are not delivered to him. And he demands the return of his bride, Arya. Jon holds a meeting in the Shield Hall, declaring that the ranging to Hardhome will proceed without him. He rides south to confront Ramsay Bolton with his threats and asks if anyone will go with him. The room erupts with support. As Jon makes his way to the King's Tower, a scream is heard. One is attacking one of the Queen's knights. Jon tries to calm the situation, but is suddenly attacked by one of his brothers. Why? He asks. For the watch, they reply, one after the other, driving their sharp blades into his belly and neck. Marsh is among the attackers. He is weeping. For the watch, Jon feels cold and collapses. The end.
May I just put forward your nomination to read The Winds of Winter, because that was great, man.
I need some water.
That was
I got about
summary.
How long did that go for? I didn't realize it was that long. Sorry.
It was about 12 minutes, I think.
But it was really good because it was really animated. It wasn't just sort of this happened and this happened. It was a really great summary.
Well, the whole thing is, it's an overarching view of the war because Jon is at the top, so he has to deal with all of these things. It's not like someone at the bottom looking up. It's just this overarching thing, and it's all intertwined with Stannis' campaign. So it's pretty complicated. Yeah.
And actually, just the sheer complication of hearing you read all that just in one go, rather than reading chapters interspersed in the book, just made me realize how complex Jon's challenges are, and maybe how I hadn't been quite as sympathetic as I should have been to some of the decisions he makes.
That's all.
I mean, it really is.
Yeah.
He's just keeping those plates spinning in the airs between wildlings and Stannis and what's going on in the north, and it's just craziness.
Welcome to the Vassals of Kingsgrave, the international spin-off of a podcast of Ice and Fire. Today, we will be discussing Ender's Game. This is Michael on the forums, Lord Prism. With me today is Greg, Claudius the Fool, and Zach, who is Alias.
Hey, everybody.
Hello.
So, I guess to get us started, I wanted to ask, when did you first get into Ender's Game?
Okay, I read it. My first time was in my freshman year of college over the summer. I was working a very boring job, and I had a lot of time to read. And that's when I read Ender's Game, and then I sort of got hooked and continued on through the original 4 in the series.
Okay, so you've read the original 4. Have you read any of the others?
I read the original 4, then I read a couple years later. I read Ender's Shadow, which was like the parallel novel from Bean's point of view, and then I've read 1 or 2 of the later ones, but I stopped reading those for various reasons.
All right, bye.
All right, later.
See you later.
Yeah, I gotta go
Bye.
too.
Bye. How the fuck do you hang up on this thing?
So we have Glen on now.
Hi everyone. So what fun have I missed?
Everything. All of it.
We're just reminiscing. So Glenn, what are your favorite? Well, first, what does VoK mean to you, Glenn?
Well, I guess I enjoy the fact that with VoK, it's not just Song of Ice and Fire topics. It can be anything. So I always use it as a platform to deliver podcasts that I guess aren't out there. So in the hope that there's someone out there searching iTunes and they'll find, a podcast on Fall of Giants or, some sort of like a new topic that hasn't been covered before, or it's something that maybe a different angle for a different topic.
And maybe it'll bring them in and they'll listen to some other episodes.
Exactly. That's the number one priority.
You've got a very soothing voice, Glenn. I never noticed it
It's
before.
so nice. He's so sweet.
Let's do the girls' night out now. Just vote for Glenn.
I was taking a look at the document that Patrick posted, and it said 6 a.m., but then it looked like, it said UK 6 a.m., but then it said GMT, so then I thought, well, GMT is actually 1 hour behind, so it would be 7 a.m., but I guess I was wrong.
We've all been there. That is, we were talking about problems, and time zone can be definitely one of them.
Oh,
a lot.
Wait, is the UK all in one time zone?
Yep, one time zone.
Okay, then. Moving on.
I learned today about half-hour time zones, where they switch in half hours.
Oh, yeah.
That's some bullshit.
That's got to be a
hey,
foreign
look,
thing.
Arizona never changes their time, so sometimes
Lucky
they're Pacific,
bastards.
sometimes they're Mountain. Like, they just shift because they're like, we're not doing this whole daylight savings thing. You guys can screw yourselves.
But they don't celebrate Martin Luther King Day either, so fuck them.
That's Arizona.
Oh.
Fall in Arizona.
Shit
come
just
on.
got real.
Do we even have anybody from Arizona on our podcast?
Drew's from Arizona, isn't
No,
it?
because we can't figure out which time zone it is there.
We can't find Arizona. It's just hidden in mist.
They ask us, they ask us to put Arizona time in when we do stuff, and we just can't be bothered.
Yeah, exactly. So
It looks like you've got a good chat history that I can look through, so 200 comments.
Oh.
That's what I love about VoK. I love turning my phone on at the end of the day and seeing 9,000 comments. There's no way I can read.
The best part, though, is when, like, you've been talking about something for days on and off in a thread, and then you just see someone left the thread. Like, oh.
God, what is this?
I guess they got tired of the notifications.
Zach jumped off a bridge.
Well, isn't that like on Facebook? They've got the same function, so you've got a chat group with 20 people, and then it dies.
Everybody jumps
and
ship.
then suddenly all the updates are left conversation, X left conversation.
Is that a thing on Facebook?
Yeah.
The Facebook Messenger.
Do people do that?
You don't do Messenger?
I only ever talk to like one person at a time.
I'm gonna message you right now.
Yeah,
Message?
don't do it.
Is that a word?
Messing you? Haha, you didn't pronounce an English word properly.
There was a question in the document. It was like, have you done something like this before? There was a story I wanted to tell about, like, it was 4 years ago, I believe, and I'm not sure if anyone noticed it on the forums or if you were there on the forums at the time, but there was some sort of plan to do another podcast, which was all Song of Ice and Fire, and it was like this really ambitious project where you would like review a chapter every day, sort of like the reread project just now. And it was started up by one of the members. What was his name?
I don't remember that.
I can't remember. But, so it was a podcast where it would be like every day there would be an episode, like Game of Thrones chapter 1, then all the way through, and then like at the weekend it was going to be like talking about the show or doing show episodes. So I did like tried out the first episode. Usurpation Blitz was trying to organise it, and there was Vesuvius and Lee. So Lord Mandel Lee, he was on that too. But it was so great we decided not to release it, and then it sort of died down from there. And I think that was around the time that Bastards of Kingsgrave was getting started, so it didn't materialise again until the next year when talks about VoK began.
It was too good for the world.
Yes.
It was the podcast the world wanted, but not the one it needed.
So we're the one the world
story.
needed.
Yeah.
And then it sort of put me off the idea of joining VoK at the time, because I thought, well, I did so badly on that one, so how could I work on this one? But I'm glad I tried it out, and done 30 episodes now, and still probably will be here next year and the year after. So quite good thing to get involved with.
Yeah.
Well, you were on my first episode, Glen, so I have that. I appreciate that very much.
And you were on my first episode, Zach. It was me,
Mine
you, and Michael for the Ender's Game.
Mm-hmm.
My first was just me and
Harry Potter. You, me, Victrum.
We might have lost her.
yes,
Nadia?
It was one of the very early ones. I know that.
I believe that's right. It's so it was the Harry Potter episode.
I think that Harry. What was? Do you guys know the number of that Harry Potter episode?
Number 7.
I think I wanted to be on
I thought it was
that.
6.
Wow.
whoa.
No, I expected that.
Go Rain
I think
Man.
I wanted to be on that one, but I was like too nervous to try to get on that one. So then I just like snuck on to the one after the lottery one.
Nerd.
which was my
How
first
old
one,
were
which was
you
number 8.
on your first one, Zach?
So what year was that when we started?
It was like 3 years ago.
So I'd be yeah, I was 13 at the time. It was very
The
daunting.
legal age to join the forum.
Exactly.
Oh my god.
No, I was not. I was probably like
But you-
17.
You sounded so different. I was just like, I was cutting that out today, and I was like, "Is that Zach?" Like I almost didn't recognize you. But that's probably you have a different microphone now too, or something.
Yeah, now he's man grown.
Exactly.
Winter has come.
But I think I was also just like very tentative and nervous on that one. I remember though, like when we recorded it, it was like 7 a.m. because I was with 2 people from the UK, obviously, Glen and Bina. So I didn't want to wake
obviously.
anyone up. So yeah. So that might have been also why I was like so quiet on that one. But yeah, everyone I think on their first podcast, like they're trying to navigate their way and find their footing.
Yeah, I just remember how fast I used to talk, and I used to have to keep a post-it saying "slow down" and no ums, and I took that down about a year ago.
I've noticed the has kind of, I mean, it still happens obviously, but it seems like and there's another one that always seems to come up. Like, what is it? Or not? There's another. Just another filler. Another.
What
not
was it? Is Thomas here?
Anyway, yeah, that is another thing with podcasting, and I've obviously not mastered it, is getting rid of the filler words that we all say so much, especially like is just the killer of many
so many.
It's like the worst.
Yeah.
Like is like the worst.
Yeah,
It's
like so many complaints on like YouTube and stuff about people saying like all the time.
Dude and like, I'm from California, so I naturally go to those words anyway. And like, yeah, like editing myself, I'm like, oh, you
just did it
3 times. You did it 3 times.
Why can't they have some sort of editing software where it would just pick up on as and filler words and just take them away?
in the case of like if you were making a comparison, then they would just all go away.
This podcast so much.
And I think people would do a lot, and this like I found that this doesn't work because people would do this thing where they'll say this character like they were saying something, like they'll do that to introduce a fake quotation, and you can't get rid of that or it doesn't make sense. Yeah. So that's what I've noticed.
Is there I was gonna say, is like when you guys are editing, like how much do you guys like micro edit some of this, like yourself especially, but other people too? Like I'm not gonna say anything, but
let's just play a game.
Freaking me out.
Three times.
I do feel
like 7.
Yeah.
What I do is I micro edit myself so I sound very good, and then I leave everybody else's screw ups in.
Yeah, I take mine and I give like Brett 4 extra ones.
Have you guys ever made like an evil edit where like you clearly just like you cut something out, you know?
I mean, I've cut plenty of Brett, not because I hate him or something like that.
Jealous?
Because it needed to be done for the betterment of the world.
My personal project on the Dragon cast in particular is how to edit Matt. That's always the big question. Do I make him seem more eloquent, or do I just let it go? You know?
What's better?
He's a force of nature.
He's definitely the one that takes the most work. But
Glenn, what were you gonna say?
Oh, I was saying I think that on VoK4, so the first one I was editing, it was like going through, and I felt like I was editing myself more and like taking away like all the filler words and stuff, whereas I would just leave it with the other people.
That was the Superman podcast, wasn't it? Number 4?
Oh, number 4 was Feast Dance Part 1.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
First ever.
I just want to say, Glenn, I'm always impressed by your knowledge. Even when you're talking about like the podcast of Ice and Fire episodes, like you will just rattle off a number, like, "Oh, that was
people
episode."
Know that shit.
But part of me does want to test you right now to see how many you can name in a row from number 1 for VoK.
Go ahead.
No,
challenge accepted.
He's been waiting for this.
Alaska, Arizona,
Arkansas, California, Colorado, Connecticut.
Yeah, we know the song you guys are doing. It's okay.
Okay.
Have any of you listened to all VoKs that have been out?
No.
I just listen to the ones I'm on.
I try to listen to all of them, but I don't listen to all of them. No.
I probably
I've listened to a lot.
Like 100s of them.
Yeah.
Probably 100. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I've listened to a lot that I'm not. I've listened to a lot that I'm not actually interested in the content. But there are some that I'm holding for, like, I still haven't listened to Mr. Robot yet because I haven't watched that, or some that I just know that I may never get to them, so they just have to wait.
Amber is, I think, the best, like, number 1 VoK listener because she listens to them before they're out.
I do my best.
That's why.
Secretly.
Have any of you done some like really ambitious podcasts that never came to light because there was so much to it you gave up? Like I've seen a few that.
I've never actually done it, but I've always had this dream. One of my favorite podcasts ever. It was actually a Team Fortress 2 podcast, if anyone knows that game. But they for their episode 50 and 100, they did like this full-blown radio play where they all had characters and there was music and it was just awesome. And I always wanted to do that for VoK, but it's an insane amount of work, an insane amount. So I don't know if it'll ever materialize. But.
Are you going to be a guy in the corner making all the sound effects?
Yeah, what are they called? What are those guys called?
I can't think of the name.
I don't know.
And like improv, the people who make sound. Anybody?
Well, me and Bina, we had planned on doing, after we did the Conan podcast, we were going to do more 80s movies, and we never got around to doing it, but that sort of got resurrected not too long ago on the forums. So some of that might be happening anyway.
By Adam.
In like a roundabout way, yeah.
Yeah, I had the role-playing thing that I wanted to do, where we do like tabletop pen and paper in the Song of Ice and Fire world. That's never really come to fruition yet, but there's been rumblings on the forums, so it might go. And also,
that'd be cool.
Yeah, I think it might kind of, the Critical Role and all those programs on YouTube.
Yeah,
kind of prove that it can be done and be entertaining. So that might be a thing, and also I made once, the end of Ice and Fire, where we kind of speculated on what would happen and who would survive and stuff like that with Bina and Imogen and stuff like that, and it never really came. I recorded it and then I lost recording because my computer broke down. So yeah, those are my two.
There was one I was going to do, or like I raised a phrase about it. It was like Oscar movies on trial. So it was sort of similar to another podcast I've listened to before. It was where the hope was we would all watch like popular movies like Shakespeare in Love or Titanic, where people were like, that shouldn't have won, and then we sort of discussed the movies that lost and compared the two. But then eventually it was, we should watch all 5 movies, and then it was people suggested,
now they do like
let's
10
watch...
a year.
That's right, 10 a year. And then some people suggested, we should watch the movies that never got nominated and compare them. So it just became like too much. But in an ideal world, it would have worked.
If you were a movie critic, this would be perfect.
We're gonna go see Captain America again tomorrow.
Again?
Okay.
Well, yeah.
Again? Who sees movies multiple times?
I just didn't know you'd
Amber.
already seen it.
Glenn, do you have a favorite moment from the VoK?
Well, favorite moment from... Oh, yeah. I was thinking about that today. Like, I think that my favorite was not a single moment, but like favorite podcast that I've done. So it would be The Pillars of the Earth when I did that. So shout out to Michael and Stephen out there, who really helped me with that. So it was really fun to read that book and prepare the topic, then compare the show, the mini-series to the book. And it was really fun to record that podcast.
I'm still jealous I couldn't make that one. I was trying to make
I know it would
do
have
World
been
Without
like
End,
10 times better if you were on that one.
Ooh, there we go. That would be a good question. Like, what are some podcasts that like people couldn't make, like scheduling or whatever, and you're just like, dang it.
Yeah.
Afterwards,
I would say the podcast roundtable. I was kicking myself that I couldn't join that one because there would be so many podcasts I would discuss, and like it really sounded fun, that one. So like 2-hour recording that it was.
You should have taken my spot on that, because I remember on that podcast I was just like, well, hardcore history's cool. Like, you guys heard of that?
yeah,
cool
no,
time.
This American Life,
you got me into the 30-day shred from that one. Or was that Amber? One of you.
Oh,
mentioned
right.
30-day shred. I think it was
Fuck you.
No, I mean I think we both.
And
talked
you're
about it.
ripped now, aren't you?
Oh yeah, I'm ripped.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Fucking God.
I still have to do those girly push-ups. I still can't do man push-ups.
I miss the full cast recording of Ned's Fever Dreams. Like,
That was what I edited.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I had a bad microphone on that one. I sucked.
so
I hated that.
so sad.
I always remember Shane's line, "Only water."
I'm just so sad that I didn't make that one, because I had
No, because we tried to record separately, didn't we? But it just didn't work out.
Yeah.
'Cause we recorded being Robert, and even the second time it didn't work out. The recording was messed up.
Yeah, I had like practiced my King Robert. I had almost done like a northerner accent and stuff like that. So I thought myself that I was pretty good, and then
Did you go full Dotrice?
So wait, you chose a northerner accent for Robert, who's not from the north?
No, but it's kind of it works best on him because he's kind of like gruff and like uncut diamond in a sense, you know. So
Phew, thank God you
No,
said
I thought you were going somewhere else.
Although it's probably true.
I mean, FCRs in general
yeah.
are obviously highlights.
Yeah.
You all got that in like waves.
The one that I go back to and listen to the most though is the what is it? The Princess Bride
Say
one.
Princess Bride, yeah.
Oh, it's so
Right on.
good.
And it's just there's so many, like, I didn't know that you guys were capable of these voices, like Shane's
Fezzik.
Fezzik
Okay.
and
Bina's
Nicole's Miracle Max. Bina's Inigo
Yes.
is really good, and also Duncan's grandpa. I can't remember his name, but the grandpa was so good.
What about podcasts that you've done that didn't get released because, I don't know,
I'm working on it.
field or
Christ.
something?
There's been like about half a dozen, I think, lost episodes.
I still have the
Legitimately
last
just lost.
I just haven't committed to editing it. The Perdido Street Station, but that'll be out at some point.
Still need to read the book, but
That's a good book.
Wait, weren't you on the podcast, Zach? And you haven't read the book?
Yeah, but that was actually my one and only lurk cast where I just hung out.
I remember that. I was with Fred Meyer.
Morning all. Sadly, I'm not so fancy that I have a valet to wake me up for these 6 a.m. calls, so
Glen's excuse was he thought it was 7 a.m.
I'm just going to go back to sleep quietly in the corner. As you were.
Just baffled by this like actual like conversation starter. Like, what does that mean? How was my day?
Isn't that a typical salutation? How are you?
You must answer our questions 3.
Bina, what does VoK mean to you?
It means waking up at silly hours.
That is part of it, for sure.
I think VoK is one of the things that I'm most proudest to be involved in an earnest moment.
You're in charge of England, so that says a lot.
In charge of England, brackets, yeah. I think it's just lovely. To me, it's just this bizarre, atypical corner of the internet where all these people from around the world get together with a shared interest in Song of Ice and Fire and other geeky stuff. And it's a joy, because I think a lot of us, well, for me anyway, I don't want to speak for anyone else, like I've got amazing in real life friends, but they don't necessarily like all the geeky stuff I like. And so it's just this amazing thing to find this way to discuss all that with people who find it similarly interesting. So I think for a lot of us, it's a little bit of a lifeline. And it just amazes me. Like, I travel around the world, and I'm very lucky to meet a lot of people who I kind of podcasted with. And it's amazing that we can be completely different ages, kind of come from completely different countries and backgrounds, and yet this common background, like everyone is always so awesome. So I think it's just this amazing thing, and I really hope it stays that way. So yeah, that's what it means. I'm really earnestly sort of very proud of it, and I would just like to say a huge thank you to Amin, who kind of set it up and continues to support it, to Mimi, who lets us like hang out on her forums that she pays for, even though that like most of what we're talking has nothing to do with her podcast. And also to Vic, who basically, I think Amin put out the suggestion to set it up, but I certainly wouldn't have known really how to set up the WordPress and the RSS feeds and get us submitted onto iTunes. And Vic, because he works in IT, had all that background, so he definitely made a huge contribution at the start.
Yeah, I think he really made it happen, because I remember when Amin was first suggesting it, and at least for me, I was like, no, that's never going to work. There's no way that's actually going to turn into anything.
No. Yeah, I mean, I think it turned into a bandwagon where once it was all set up, everyone is great at doing their own podcast, but just because I know that he helped me set up my podcast too. Technologically, we did need someone who was just going to take the time to settle that up, set up the mega upload account, set up the YouTube, and that took time. So, a shout out to him for that. And if you listen to those early single digit books, a lot of the tone, which is funny but respectful, comes from him. So, yeah. And also the idea that we would have diverse voices, and, that not everyone's going to have the same accent, not everyone's going to be a first language English speaker. That all comes from Vic, really. So.
Who have you met, Bina, that you've podcasted with in real life?
So in Australia, Duncan, and I haven't podcasted with him, but Marius. I'm trying to think of anyone else in Australia.
There was somebody else there in Australia.
Yeah,
I remember the pictures. There was another girl.
Oh, Jessica.
Yeah. Oh, Jessica.
Yeah, come back, Jessica. Jessica was awesome. And Duncan made some really good cake. I remember that very specifically. But they were like really
slice. It's called slice.
That's right, lemon slice, right?
But they were a cool crew. They're all based in Melbourne. And then let me see, Amber, obviously in America.
Obviously.
Obviously. I kind of didn't meet up with Pod and Mikhail in New York, even though they were there, and I kind of was out to work, which sucked. And in London, I've met up with Tedard, Brum Riverlander, Imogen OB, Kay Centurion, the podcast Bard, and his wife, Erinese, and her husband. Silence. Mikal, when she came to London, which was really cool. I'm trying to think of anyone else. I'm going to really offend people now.
How about me?
I met Sir Patrick the Tall and his wife, and we married them at St. Paul's Cathedral around a heart tree that Jed had brought, which was kind of the weirdest thing I've ever done.
That's quite weird.
And I have to say, Sir Patrick the Tall's wife, Lady Patrick the Tall, given that she's Lady Tall, given that she doesn't know anything about us or indeed like dig the books, was surprisingly kind of okay with all this weirdness. I really thought we were going to get like arrested by the City of London police at one point. So I'm trying to think. There must be other people, and I'm just like too sleepy to remember them.
You've just met way too many people to keep track.
I'm going to Helsinki next week, and I was really hoping to meet Shellfish, but he's kind of like incommunicado right now.
So what are some of your favorite VoK moments, Bina?
I think my favorite overall episode is probably The Wire, just because I love that show. I never had anyone to talk to people with about it. I think it might have been Duncan's first episode, actually. And it was just so funny. We did the whole series in one episode. It's like about 4 hours long. And it was just us sort of doing our favorite quotes, basically. But that was like really fun.
Oh, I hate to be like the geeky know all about VoK, but it was actually VoK 20. Duncan's first episode.
I love that. Yeah, I think you're like the Brendan Blackfish of VoK. And then my favorite series is probably Lord of the Rings, because it was the first series I did, and I think it brought so many cool people on, like Brett and like Matt, and I think Shane. It was maybe the first time I podcasted with you, Nadia. We did that whole thing together. So yeah, like that was a really nice series, and
Lord of the Rings
and Tolkien is awesome, and yeah, so that was just so much fun to do.
Peter doing his Black Speech of Mordor is one of my favorite clips.
I mean, editing that was just so much fun. Like doing the shellfish bumpers was hilarious.
I like it when we were talking about the weapons that the Sons of Arendelle used. I was like, they had like bows and arrows with stars, and then he like scoffs. He's like, oh, stars. He hates elves so much. It's funny.
I think there was one really long discussion about like would a wiffle bat be useful in the event of a zombie invasion? That seems to stick in my head, Brett. And then I guess I'm trying to think more recently what would be my favourite. I think it's sort of, I don't know, it tends to be more moments than episodes after that, but it's just good times, isn't it? And it's always different. I mean, the reread, I guess, the first episode of the reread, Brett's Moon Dragon's panspermia theory.
And my last piece of evidence is this guy named the Bloodstone Emperor is a leader who turned his back on the old gods of Yeti and began worshipping a black rock that fell from the sky, and he is thought to have ushered in the long night. Okay, so here goes my theory, keeping those things in mind. So I think there was another moon, and I think it was a fire moon, okay, made mostly of like oily black rock and iron, that sort of thing. And okay, I think dragons lived on the moon. All right. Now, the reason why I think that is because dragons are
dragons
large.
Let's just wipe back. Dragons lived on the moon.
This other moon, yes, because to me, with the size dragons are, and they just wouldn't be able to fly on our world. You know what I mean? So it wouldn't make sense that they evolved on our world. Like their bones are part iron, and they'd just be too heavy to fly. Does that make sense?
But
so I think they might have. Shh, I'll get to that.
Okay.
So like they were born on the moon, and that's where they developed. That's why they grew bigger than like animals would here, and that's why they can fly, because they have a lower gravity because it's smaller. Okay?
Oh my god, this has turned into Ancient Aliens.
It is, and you're gonna hate it.
Is this like Xenu? This
is why I call it a crazy crackpot theory, okay?
We should talk about Xenu after this, Bina, anyway.
We should do that.
Okay, and then a comet came, okay? Possibly called by magic. And it struck the moon, blowing it to pieces and raining them upon the planet, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Now, some of these pieces would have got to Earth before the others, and I think one of the pieces of rock is the one that the Blood Emperor started worshipping because it fell from the sky. All right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's why he's thought to have ushered in the long night, because that was the first place it happened. He started worshipping the rock, and then the long night came. Here's why the long night came. When the rest of the moon crashed into the Earth, it created a dust cloud that would have blotted out the sun, creating the long night. Okay?
That is the most sensible thing you've said so far.
That was a highlight, and the whole B-Day discussion.
Oh yeah.
You're welcome, Brett. By the way, you're welcome for that.
Did you install that shit in your new house?
Yeah. What happened to the
I don't
B-Day?
have a new house yet.
It's a different house.
Yeah, but it's not
Did
mine.
you install the bidet in your in-laws' house?
No.
They want it.
I don't want them to want to keep it.
Yeah,
They don't live here, so.
Yeah. And that's what I love. I mean, I like things like when we pranked Brett by sending him the bidet mate, or, like Secret Santa. Like when it kind of slightly spills over into real life and you end up sending each other like maple syrup and stuff, like that's good fun. So yeah.
The Maple King.
The Maple King. That was damn good maple syrup as well. So, and the one that I haven't been part of that I've really enjoyed listening to, I would say, was Silmarillion, actually, because it's a book I've never really been able to read, and
Took you long enough to mention me. Jeez, you almost didn't make it.
I know. But that's kind of where VoK is. Like, I think sometimes it's just really good because it I'll listen to some VoK episodes of, like, I listen to the gaming ones, even though I've never played the games, which sounds really stupid. And they're really
I do the same thing.
Yeah. So I mean, I won't listen to everything that I don't know about because there's a lot of books, but yeah, there are certain ones I'll listen to, and it's good fun. And I've certainly read books I wouldn't have read, like the China Mieville book that you guys did in book club, because of.
We never actually made a podcast.
No, never did that.
So I can still join! Yay! Yeah, so it's good. And of course, I have a book guy now. Like, who knew?
Oh, that's my big thing, is that Bina buys books from Southampton Books.
All the books. All the books. Literally, I have no money left. So, yeah.
So Greg does own a lot of books. It is.
And now I can say I got a guy. Books. I got a guy.
I got my book guy. Yeah, he hooked me up.
Let me talk to my guy.
Yeah, exactly.
I did appreciate your note, Shane, when you sent the $1 for the website. What'd you say? If you ever need $1, ask me. If you ever need more, ask Bina.
I particularly appreciated the Spider-Man drawing as well.
You should see how weirded out Daniel gets when, like, I get a letter from you. He's like, so your internet friends are actually real friends? I don't get this. Like, they're just sending you stuff in the mail. Where's the line? It's complicated.
Worlds are colliding.
But he did say, Greg, Bina, you're one of his really good friends now too, because you buy so many books. So.
Aww. Well, one day I'll come and visit the store. I'm waiting for a New York trip so I can make the trip.
Nice.
But
what do you guys think VoK will look like at VoK 400?
Which will be next year. Probably around the same time, so it seems to be the same. It's consistent. It's 100 episodes a year, and it's always around May or June when we get to that century episode.
It's going to be all ladies, right? Just all ladies.
You're going to be broadcasting from the space station.
With our self-tying shoes and hoverboards.
Yep.
Because the whole world subscribed.
Yeah.
How have we not done Back to the Future watch podcast? Yeah,
that's a very good question.
Like Ferris Bueller. Plans for it a few times.
So I'm just gonna say thank you for the people that could actually join this time. We might do an extra, but I think actually on further thought, I'm thinking actually we don't need.
You don't feel like it.
Sorry, we don't need to do another one.
Feed your son, Patrick.
Hey, this could be a cute idea. Can we get everyone who has a kid who's kind of appeared on the podcast to just say Vassals of Kingsgrave and just tape it and send it in and stitch it all together?
That's super.
Patrick, can your child say Vassals of Kingsgrave yet? Have you taught them the most important of
Or
words?
VoK. VoK is the thing they can say. Right?
No,
do not get them to say that.
Sound bad.
Mikey can say hi and Paul.
Well, that's okay.
Whoops.
I just think it would be cute, to acknowledge the contribution that all these kids have made over time, just to give them a little.
Can my dog be in it?
Your dog can definitely be in it.
Anything that's created background noise. You gotta get Katie's bird, your dogs.
Varley's
Stephanie's
siren.
bird, but yeah.
I was gonna say Varley's ice.
Yeah, Varley's ice.
So thank you all for joining, and see you guys for VoK 400, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or 301 also.
Yay.
Or
You're not
301.
going-
Yeah.
You're not going to
What
be on
about,
for
like,
100
5
episodes,
hours?
Patrick?
Sorry, Greg.
I was joking. I was saying you're not going to be on
Don't
for 100
joke.
episodes.
Don't joke, Greg. It doesn't go well when you do that.
Oh.
Aw.
Oh.
Sick
I think
burn.
Greg is hilarious.
Hey, throw a Kindle at him.
I too think Greg tries to be hilarious.
Oh. No more board books for your next child, Brett.
Oh man. But I was kidding.
I know. Okay.
That wasn't me.
Greg, I'm sorry.
He's so tired. All right, let's end this.
Yeah. Bye.
Hi, guys.
Bye.
Hey, have that small child say
Everybody.
something. I hear it.
Tristan,
Hurry.
hi.
Bye, everyone.
You say hi. Hi.
Bye.
Bye.
He's always mesmerized by people in headphones, so he can't really.
I mean, I am too, so I understand.
That's so understandable.
Yeah. So, okay, fine. Thank you for listening to the main part of the show. During these last 300 episodes, there's been a lot of good, great, and honestly weird moments. And from these moments, some were so good, so great, and so weird that they were chosen as bumpers, prefaces for shows. ClaudiusThefool, longtime podcaster, curator, and book owner, has made a compilation of the best of them, and we invite you to listen to this. Enjoy.
Hey guys, welcome to a podcast of Ice and Fire.
Wait.
Wait,
that's not it. That's not it.
Oops, I got it wrong. Sorry. Okay, welcome guys to Bastards of Kingsgrave, and off
Hey, no,
topic.
stop. You're doing it wrong. This is
Oh.
wrong podcast again.
Wrong again? If we're not podcast of Ice and Fire and Bastards in Kingsgrave, what are we then?
We're the Vassals of Kingsgrave, my good sir.
This is Vassals of Kingsgrave News Network.
So here's my shocking lock of knowledge. Who's younger, Bran or Arya?
Bran.
Bran, yeah.
Thank you.
I guess we should mention Salvatore, the gay guy.
Yeah. No, he's not gay, he's just Italian.
I'm still hoping they can put Brian Blessed into Game of Thrones somehow. That would just be brilliant.
Quentin's alive!
That was amazing.
I'm so angry, you guys. I'm so angry. Okay, guys, let's say it together.
Okay, 1, 2, 3.
Harmonic.
You can't crack up. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I ruined it.
Thanks, man.
I just feel like the actor who did Batu's voice, maybe he just recorded that 5 times and they made the rest of his speeches just from those syllables.
Guys, he has a wahaha at the end of the episode.
Yeah, I sort of thought beforehand that it's going to be confusing if the two big bad guys have the same voice, but they had sort of the black speech. He was just
Yeah, exactly.
doing that, and it's not like.
Yeah, and again,
Can you do that sound effect again, please?
Yes. Sounds like Dothraki.
And it's like, why do you bother reading essay on fiction? And I was like, okay, it's just too difficult to explain because only geeks or Ice and Fire fans would understand, right? No, it's the nerdiest possible thing. Not only are you reading a Song of Ice and Fire, you're reading an essay series on a Song of Ice and Fire. Yeah, and discussing all the history. It's a fictional history. It's like we're going through the looking glass at this point.
I think this is gonna be one of the normal ones. Only 5 of us.
Yeah, instead of 18.
Okay, before we begin, I'd like you all to take a pledge. Put your hand on your favorite copy of Game of Thrones books or Song of Ice and books. If your free stance will do. And repeat after me. I insert your name.
I, Michael.
I, Thomas. I, Peter. Thankfully, that's not my legal name.
I'm conscientiously objecting.
Do solemnly swear.
Do solemnly swear
that I will execute faithfully the office of VoK podcaster.
That I will execute faithfully the office of VoK podcaster.
And will do my best of my ability, preserve, protect, and defend the high standards of VoK.
And will do the best to my ability to preserve, protect, and defend the high standards of
the VoK podcast.
So help me insert your favorite podcast of Ice and Fire host name here.
Ooh, help me, Mimi.
This is a trap.
I know.
I only podcast because my family needs the money.
Liar.
I only podcast because this wicked world won't let me work an honest trade.
Liar.
I only podcast because I've temporarily fallen in with bad company.
Liar.
I only podcast because it's heaps of fucking fun.
Bastard.
In the event of a zombie apocalypse, would the whiffle bat be a good weapon?
But you were kind the Danish we called it narfisse. It's called like a mummer's pussy, mummer's cunt.
We do not have these words in English.
I'm intrigued. Go on.
It's like tease, maybe a tease. We have a.
Well, we are calling them mummers cunts from now on.
Much better. I think that should be the name of the.
Name of the podcast.
Yeah, maybe the dragon breath is so hot that it melts the steel down to an even more molecular level, and it hardens even harder or something.
Yeah, I always assumed it was tempered with
That
dragon.
makes sense logically, yeah.
Of course it does. Science.
That is good. But what is best in life? The open steppe, a fleet horse, falcons at your wrist, and the wind in your hair. Wrong! Bina, what is best in life?
To crush your enemies, to see them driven before you, and to hear the lamentation of their women.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Vassals of Kingsgrave. Just kidding. I'm not doing it that bad.
Big red dog.
Brilliant.
Mary Poppins.
What is dead can never die.
But rises again, harder and stronger.
Pop quiz. This podcast was recorded ages ago and is being released now because A. Michal is totally lazy and despises audio editing. B. The file was stolen by agents of Hydra. Or C. The Fitz monkey got it and was taking a really long time on the just fill in your own answer.
Do you have your Baileys?
I don't. I did not refill my Baileys after the FCR.
Well, that's good because I would hope you would have washed that glass by now.
Oh, I was just drinking out of the bottle.
How do you guys picture the Valar?
I think they look like crabs.
They develop a very precise speech because they're basically grammar Nazis, like all Stannis.
I didn't say it. The German guy said Nazi.
No, sorry. It's
Sorry.
I don't know. We're very. I'm not conscious about it.
I'm not conscious about it. I had to mention it though. You didn't say Nazi.
Am I still making up bullshit things?
Does that mean can we hear you?
Yeah, basically.
Then yes, you are still making up bullshit things.
Excellent.
Sorry. Is that delicious? Whoever's having that?
Oh yeah,
Greg?
it's just chai.
Well, it sounds delicious.
That is the perfect sipping sound.
I guess my mic is working perfectly then.
Welcome to Vassals of Kingsgrave. Oh crap. How do I want to start this?
We're off to a good start.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
That's how it usually starts.
Just talking about when Mydros was rescued by Fingon. Fingon?
Polo.
She'd be like, I don't need no handmaidens.
That was the best aria I've ever heard.
They sort of just eke out a living and live in peace.
Yeah, and pray to weird evil gods.
And pray to weird evil gods, yeah.
I'm sure the black goat of Kohor is probably just misunderstood.
It's grossly misunderstood.
Yeah, he's just a big cuddly guy.
It's just a teddy bear. It demands the occasional baby.
Anyway.
Does somebody have like a trapped spirit in the background or something? Oh, sorry, that's my mother's bird. I'm so sorry.
It's a spirit engine.
It's a good atmosphere.
All right. Anybody have requests for time?
Nope.
All right.
No, I'm good.
All good.
All right. Buckle in, bitches. Let's take this pony across the finish line. All right. 3, 2, 1. You are listening to the Vassals of Kingsgrave Core Edition. Sorry, that bird.
I'm so sorry. Cannot shut up. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Like I can
Put
go
like
outside
a
if you
blanket
want.
over it. He'll think it's nighttime.
Well, I think you have your blooper intro at least.
I knew it wasn't going to be the last time. I knew it.
I love Teddard's pronunciation of Kothira. I can't even say it.
You got to do the on the.
Like you could probably farm something or just eat some sheep, pigs, whatever lives on this island.
Sheep pigs.
Yes, sheep pigs.
Yeah, I understand now that when Corlys Valerian got here, he's like, all right, this is enough for me.
Done. I'm outie.
I mean, come on. If Davos lands on Skagos and, like, he sees somebody, like, stalking up to him and is like, hello, sir, do you have a reservation?
Lord Seaworth, would you care to dine with us?
Who the hell said that? Do you prefer white meat or dark meat? It's definitely not human. No matter what you've heard.
Salador San's out looking for Gendry still, so he's busy.
Oh boy.
Oh my god, I was talking to Katie about this, and she was like, they're gonna find him in a boat, like a dried up husk, and next to him, like carved into the boat, is gonna say, fuck you, Davos.
That doesn't work. He can't read.
No, you know, I'm just saying that a lot of these white dude doctors, other than Herschel, because Herschel's a vet, and that they go to more school. They just do. That's cool.
Oh hell no! Oh, don't even get me.
She was kidding. She was.
I'm kidding. God.
Because hamster physiology is so much more complicated than treating cancer. So go ahead. I know you're baiting. I know.
I'm all the hate. You know.
Well, according to Davos, Stannis, very much like Shaft, is a complicated man.
I got a little bit pissed off with these things because geography.
Hisdar had stocked their box with flagons of chilled wine and sweet water, with figs and dates, melons and pomegranates, with pecans and peppers, and a big bowl of honeyed locusts. Strong bells.
Locusts! Oh.
He's so excited. That's great.
Do you want to do that?
Just keep it.
And I am instituting an ice cream discussion. So if we get too upset, we can just say ice cream, and then we'll just talk about ice cream.
Oh, safe words. I like. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to get so excited about safe words.
I love safe words.
Oh god, don't Google giant vagina monsters.
Greg, what did you think was going to happen?
Just curious.
Would you like some Dragonlance? The first one's free.
Imagine being one of Stannis' sailors. This is not what I signed up for.
Yeah, I wanted to get a shot of Salador in the background. Like, get us out of here. This is not.
Bring me my brown pants.
This happens when the wall has crumbled and the others are marching, and like it's a last-ditch effort to save humanity. Yeah. That's completely different than the first snow keeping your troops from.
I want to get out of the snow.
There we go. There, you got your opener again.
I can't really explain, walking into a comic book store and coming out with 10 titles to my wife, and she's like, "What are you doing?" Like, it just wouldn't make sense.
Maybe if you weren't paying for healthcare.
Yeah. Thank you, Obama.
Hey, my 7-year-old son, he's here, and he's going to add something to the podcast. What did your friend tell you? How do you know when you're a man?
When you have hair on your back.
Can I be Eponine?
Sure, you can be Eponine.
Yes.
Mr. Norrell.
I think dragons lived on the moon.
So finally she's spent and has a nice lie down on Findulus's grave.
I think that was dead on.
Also, how does this theory tie in with Renly being Arya's mother?
Yoda's like, maybe we misinterpreted the prophecy. And it's like,
You think, Yoda?
Fucked it up, I did.
And his beard is just long enough to cover up his junk in this picture.
Yeah.
Strategically placed. It seems like he's got like a G.I. Joe. Nothing too much going on.
He's a god. He can make that happen.
Right.
Almost gotta be.
He's a grower, not a shower. He just came out of the cold water. Come on.
I think it was Shakespeare.
I was going to try to talk like Bina, pretend to be Bina, but she'd find that incredibly offensive.
All of my British accents are so offensive. It's the best.
Hello, this is Bina 007 on the forums.
That is not her. That is not her.
No, that was a Monty Python character.
Right.
Will somebody put something in the chat? Because I'm still not seeing anything.
Skype sucks.
Happy fucking International Women's Day, bitch.
Is this anyone's first podcast?
This would be mine. Hey, welcome.
Okay, that means we're gonna make you do all the annoying things like, swear allegiance and...
I'll get the paddle.
No, it's like an early, like Homo erectus.
Yeah?
What?
Yeah?
Yeah.
What?
It's one of the, it's...
Guys, Greg said erectus.
Children, you're all children.
Beaver.
Before we move on to the bits that weren't deemed good enough for the show proper, I just want to relay a message from a very special alcoholized Bostonian Manwoody. So take it away, Varley.
When me, Mikey, and Sully aren't watching the Boston Red Sox, we're listening to the Vassals of Kingsgrave, kid. It's wicked pissa, all right? Yo, it's better than Tom Brady, the Vassals of Kingsgrave. You don't want to fuck with them, no.
Waka waka waka.
No. Yes, it started fine. Cool. Like that. Yeah. No sense of humor, that's right. We don't need humor.
Humor doesn't keep you warm.
Yeah. Because...
Hate does.
Maybe if it's dry humor.
Yeah, or special kind of... wow.
We get it, Shane. You're a man. We get it.
That wasn't me. Excuse me. I burped.
We get it, Amber. You're a man.
Amber, you're a man.
Thanks a lot, Greg.
I just assumed if it was burp or a fart, it was coming from Shane.
Texas people have no manners.
Apparently.
But they have a lot of gas.
That's why they fart.
Well, see, I don't do that, so.
Nadia,
Who's in a car? Who's in a car?
Not me.
Did we hear
Nadia?
the binging?
Is Nadia here?
Well, she's not off the call.
She's not eating.
Is anyone recording?
Yeah, I'm recording now.
So really, we almost recorded the whole episode with no one recording.
Yeah, that would
If I
have been
didn't.
stupid. That would have been very stupid.
That's,
Well, I guess the postponement would have worked out then.
Yeah.
The last time they recorded, I couldn't find it.
Shane, every time you recorded, you couldn't find it.
No, I always find it. I just don't edit it.
Swamp Thing.
I know.
Okay. So yeah, I'm just going to do the same thing again with just man, isn't it?
What?
I mean, you guys need to,
Patrick's freaking me out.
You guys need to realize that I am just as tired as you guys.
Because it's what time? What time is it?
I got up at 6 a.m. in the morning, and I kind of drank a little beforehand.
What time is it now?
It's 7:30.
If you drink alcohol in the morning, you're supposed to drink stimulants in the morning.
It's Saturday here. What day is it there?
Sunday.
Viking.
It's Mother's Day. You have to drink on Mother's Day.
The Lord's Day.
It's Sunday where you are, Adam.
The Lord
It's just
our
really
mother?
early in the morning.
That ruins the joke.
It's Saturday here.
Yeah, Saturday.
Yep.
In dark
Okay,
Sticky
so
icky icky.
was the 4th of July.
boom, boom, boom. Let's do this. Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Freaking me out.
Why? What's so wrong with me trying to pump myself up to this? I mean, I'm just as.
I feel like this is how he acts right before sex too.
Yeah, it's wicked pisser. All right.
Let's do a roundup on what VoK mean on you. I mean to you. Oh my god, it's so early.
It's 7 o'clock in the morning.
It's so early.
Not too early for cocktails.
It is slightly, but I mean, what else would you drink to get through this?
Alcohol. Yeah, definitely.
So now we're done. There isn't any more. Go home. Turn the computer off. Stop listening. There isn't any more. Really. Nothing more. Just stop listening. Oh, who am I kidding? Of course we have something more for you. Me. Best for last, you know. Enjoy.
Greetings everyone, it is Patrick the Tall here from House Ironwoody, and I bring a message for all you who hate Victarion, or just think that he is an unappealing character. Victarion is the one true prince that was promised, and here's why. 1. He's a prince. 2. He killed his wife to become stronger. 3. He was reborn amongst salt and smoke. And lastly, his arm is literally fire made flesh. But if you're still not convinced, then you're entitled to your opinion. Oh, and by the way, don't mind the war horn. We are not in your vicinity, and we're not rounding off everyone who is a non-believer. Have a good day.